All right, so here's why I think the whole funding challenges in retail prop firms, if you even want to call them that, here's why I think they're pretty stupid. Most people are not going to make money doing it. And so then what you're left with is the people that receive payouts is like 1 in 100 people, okay? But a very interesting thing is just because you receive a payout does not mean that you're going to get to keep that payout for very long, because most people who do these funding firms and receive payouts have purchased multiple accounts to try to do this with and failed multiple account challenges. Some people do this 1 or 2 times. Some people, I've seen people do this 5, 6, 7 times before they finally get funded and receive a payout. Of the people who start from the very beginning and go all the way to the end to actually get a payout, it's like 0.25% of people in all general, so like 0.25% of people actually make more in their payouts than what they paid for in funding challenges. You're 50 times more likely to do it on your own than you would be if you did it with a funding platform. Another thing, because I have a lot of qualms with these, another thing, they have daily drawdown limits. So let's say you get 100K funded and you're so happy because you got $100,000 you can trade with, and that's your money to trade with, right? Wrong. It's not all your money to trade with, because a lot of these firms have like a certain percentage of daily drawdown limits. A common one is 5%. You get a 5% daily drawdown limit. So let's just do the math here. You have $100,000, but if you exceed the equity drawdown of 5%, that's only 5K. As soon as you hit that, no matter which phase of the verification you're on, a lot of them it's like roughly similar, you're going to lose the challenge, or you're going to lose the verification, or you're going to lose the actual account if you've somehow made it past the challenge and verification. This is absolutely insane, because you do not have a $100,000 account to trade with. You have a $5,000 account to trade with, because if you cross that $5,000 equity limit, then you lose the account. So it's pretty much, it would be the same thing if you did a 100K challenge with the 5K like drawdown limit. It's the same exact thing if you just started a $5,000 account and just risked the whole account to try to make a profit. So you just went really high risk and just tried to double the 5K account, withdraw, double it again, withdraw, double it again. And it'd be the same thing. But wait, there's more. You thought that was crazy. It's not even that way, because here's why. A lot of these funding firms, they've got all these ridiculous criteria that you have to follow. You can and can be in trades with certain time periods. Sometimes you have to close before the weekend. Sometimes you can't trade before a news event. Sometimes you can't trade certain assets in certain ways. Sometimes they'll just do a manual review of your account, and just out of discretion, pure arbitrary, they pulled it out of their and they'll say, oh, your system is not working with us, and so we're going to discontinue your account, and we'll give you one payout, but we're not giving you any more after that. Sometimes they just won't even give you a payout at all. They have all these weird criteria and this long freaking contract they'll send you that says that you can and can't trade certain ways. It's absolutely ridiculous. So here's what the actual thing is. Your stats of making money, there are more in payouts than there is the amount you paid in funding fees or whatever. It's like 0.25%. Even if we just round it up and say it's 1%, 1 in 100. If we just look at the lowest, most abysmal metrics for profitability, which is 10%, if we just take that as a rule of thumb, that is 10%. And like I said, it's more likely 20 or 30. But if we just take 10%, if it's 1 in 100, which is 1% for you doing it profitably with a funding firm, you are 10 times more likely at a 10% success rate to do it if you just did it with your own money. So whether you're 10 times more likely to do it with your own money, or whether you're 50 times more likely to do it, depending on what your metrics are. It's like 40 times or 50 times more likely to do it on your own. Depending on what the metrics are, you're objectively more likely to make money if you just did it on your own. On top of that, you can actually trade normally. I myself have tried to do this site. I think it's 3 or 4 times. I think it's 3 times. I tried to do this 3 times. I failed. 2 of the first times I actually ended in profit, but I didn't meet the profit target, so I wasn't eligible to proceed to the next thing, and then I just quit. It was 1 time in 2020, and it was 2 times last year I tried to do it. And then the other 2 times, one of them well, like I said, 2 times I got into profit, but I didn't meet the profit target, and then 1 time I just straight up failed it. I hit the drawdown limit because it's stupid, because there are routine times where I will start like a 50K account to grow it to 100K. There's routine times I'll be in like 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50% drawdown on the account to grow it. Fortunately for me, $50,000 is a small amount of my trading capital. Still a good amount of money, and I don't want to lose it. But even if I blow the entire 50K account or lose half of the 50K account, the account's left at like 25K or 20K, it's still a super microscopic amount of my capital, so I never sweat it, because I don't put all of my money in one account. You don't need to. In FX, you've got high leverage. So just like start an account that's like a basic amount for how much you'll need, and then you can just risk however much dollar amounts you want. There's no difference between starting a $1 million account and risking $1,000 per trade versus just putting 50K into the account, using the high leverage and still risking 1K per trade. The only upside is now you can keep $950,000 in your bank account and you keep only 50K with your broker in case they like get sketchy or up and leave if they're a degenerate, unregulated broker. You know, even if they just disappear, but you got 95% of your trading capital, and you can split it all up among different brokerages. It just makes so much more sense to trade with your own capital.
Good evening.
And then on top of that, it gives you the illusion that you're managing. You're a prop firm. Here, let me flex my muscles here. You're trading on a prop firm, brother, and you know you've got all this funding and everything's good. But no, you actually don't. Even on $200,000 of funding, if you have a 5% daily drawdown limit, you only got 10K to trade with. Not financial advice,